Hi, everybody. Pardon me. Welcome to our last video here today for Chapter 13, Oral Communications. Video 2 left us with presentation aids that you can use when making that presentation. Examples of that are flip charts, whiteboards, videos, films, pardon me, handouts, multimedia, all of those kind of things. But remember, everybody, they're aids. They're not your actual presentation. A lot of times students will let them overtake their presentation, and that's not an effective use of them. So make sure that you limit the amount of aids that you're using. We also talked about how to use presentation software effectively on page 485. We said use templates. A lot of them are free today, and there's quite a variety of them out there, especially with PowerPoint and Prezi. Keep slides simple. I don't want to have to be in a presentation with somebody who's reading directly from their slides, and that's their presentation. Okay, so some bullet points on there. You want to make sure you follow that 8-second rule. I should be able to comprehend or understand the information on the slide in no more than 8 seconds. Okay. Use strategic thought when you put your images on there. Okay. Make them visually appealing. You want to make your data or your graphics clear, concise, and easy for everyone to understand. And it goes on with some other points as well too, carrying on to page 486. Make sure you back up your work, everybody. You want to make sure you save it onto the student drive or a flash drive or both. Rehearse it. Make sure that it flows properly, everybody, when you are delivering it. There's nothing worse than delivering a presentation and your slides might be out of sequence or there might be problems advancing a slide. So these are things that you need to keep in mind when you are making your presentations, okay? It goes on then to talk about different types of presentations, but let's take you to page 489, everybody, that rehearsing that presentation. I find that this is where a lot of students will lose marks. You want to make sure you do the following, everybody, when you are rehearsing your presentation. Practice aloud. Okay, make sure you can hear your voice. Make sure you understand, what it's going to sound like. A lot of people will maybe go through it in their mind, do that intra-personal, right, in your own mind. But when they actually practice it aloud, you can hear your voice. You become more comfortable with it. Time yourself. I know a lot of students who had set up their phone on the timer. John did that from Lethbridge. That's a great idea because I'll be timing them as well as if you are timing them, then you have a better understanding of exactly how much time you've got left. Master your topic, everybody. Make sure that you know everything, the ins and the outs of the topic that you're going to be presenting on. Okay. Record yourself or ask a friend to do it and maybe to listen to your presentation and to give you some feedback. Okay. Get a feel for the room, everybody. Understand where you're going to be presenting. Make sure you're comfortable with it. If it's a classroom when we're back on campus that maybe is typically a warm classroom, you don't want to be standing there in a sweater, jacket on, and you're sweating profusely. You want to make sure you get that feel for the room. This chapter then goes on to talk about delivering that presentation. So you've rehearsed it. Now you're ready to deliver it. And what are some of the things that you need to keep in mind on page 490? Pardon me. Make sure you dress appropriately. Okay. Make sure that if you are doing a business presentation, that you are dressed in a business attire. Okay. And when we get back on campus, a lot of times you'll see students walking around, they're dressed up. Gentlemen might have on a suit, jacket and tie and dress pants. You know that they're making some kind of presentation. Girls might be in skirts or dresses or dress pants, with a nice top. That chances are very good they're going to be making some sort of presentation. Okay. If you're making a presentation to the 4-H club, for example, you dress appropriately, right? Know your audience, know who you're presenting to. You're going to dress differently if you're presenting in a boardroom full of executives, right? Make sure you dress the part. You want to arrive early. Okay, give yourself a couple of minutes to sort of climatize yourself. Don't be late. There's nothing worse than having that rushed feeling, um, and then you're unprepared. So you want to make sure you arrive early. Maintain that good posture, everybody. Backs is up, and shoulders are there, and you look professional and you look better for it. Okay. Pause to collect yourself before beginning the presentation. Take that breath and then go on. I always tell people to remember to breathe, everybody. And they go on, speaking in a clear, audible voice at top of page 491. Never use slang or bad grammar. If you do that in my presentation, I can guarantee you're going to lose marks for it, okay? Again, remember that you are a living, breathing human being. You're not a statue, everybody. You can certainly walk around. Remain calm. When I'm in the classroom, I like to walk around. I like to be engaged with the audience. Okay, so those are some of the things that you need to keep in mind. Handling questions is at the bottom of page 491. You will always be asked questions, so be prepared. Okay, listen carefully to the entire question. Make sure your answer is long enough, but not too long. Okay. Don't feel you have to answer every question. And if you don't know the answer to a question, it's okay to say, you know what, Tom, that's a great question. I'm sorry, I just don't know the answer on that, but I will get an answer to you in regards to that question. Okay, stay on topic. End by thanking the audience, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this video presentation today. Okay, they talk on page 493 about team-based presentations. If you haven't already been doing that in some of your classes, I can guarantee you will be. So they give you some quick tips there to be aware of when we're talking about team-based presentations. The textbook then goes on to talk about meetings. What is it you need to know about different types of meetings, how to prepare for a meeting. Probably the biggest thing that we know when we go to meetings is a lot of times there's that agenda right on page 497 of what's going to be talked about at that meeting today. We do those agendas. It helps to keep everybody on track, right? You know what's coming up, what needs to be dealt with. They give you a great example on page 497 about who the presenter is going to be and how much time that presenter has, that allotted time. So that's what we're talking about when we're saying you need to prepare for this meeting. Okay. And they go on to talk about conducting a meeting. You can certainly look through that. Communicating by telephone. What are some of the things that we need to remember? And it's interesting today, a lot of stuff is done by text, but we must not forget about the telephone. Okay, a lot of businesses today, that's how they get a hold of people. And what are some of the things we need to know about in order to have that successful telephone conversation? Okay, the making and receiving of calls is covered on page 501. And then lastly, they talk about dealing with media, and you can certainly take a look through that as well too. You might be in a position one day where you are interviewed by the media, right? You're doing some sort of presentation, media is involved, and what are some of the key points that you need to remember when we talk about dealing with the media? Okay, everybody, so that is chapter 13. We will be discussing it a little bit more next week. I think your discussion post is going to have something to do with chapter 13, so make sure you stay tuned to that. And I think that's everything for chapter 13. So 3 videos to watch. I hope to be back next week live from the college. Yeah, that's about all I have. So I hope you all have a great weekend. Thanks for staying. Thanks for tuning in. Uh, please stay healthy as we work through this pandemic. Gosh, I hope it's over soon because I'm getting a little tired of it. But anyway, we do what we have to do. So take care. If you have any questions, please give me a call in my office, or you can send me an email. I am going to be around all weekend. So take care, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye.